I want to go now to Lamontville live to my colleague Bongani Gema. He is standing by for us there now, trying to crisscross to as many areas as possible. Bongani, a very good afternoon to you once again. I can see where you're standing at this particular point. It looks like it's quite tough out there.
Griselda, you'll remember that when we spoke earlier, I did mention to you when we were at Umlazi, that the residents of that area that we were at had decided to escape from the area to safer ground. So they abandoned everything. As you saw, the vehicles there were left unattended. We are now at Lamontville, still at the bank of the same river that we were at earlier on. Here, Griselda, it's just business as normal. People here have decided to stay behind. As you can see, they are just going on with their daily business. You can see that now this road, Griselda, was damaged in the late flood. So it's one of the roads that I guess will also be fixed in the, as you remember that the Premier did say the cost of the damage is around 25 billion rands here across the province. So I guess this is one of the roads that will be fixed. It was very severely damaged, but you can see that the people are remaining behind. I don't know why. Maybe they think that they are safe, because when we arrived here, when they saw the cameras, they started whistling. It is very difficult to get them to speak to us. We did try to get a few gentlemen to get their view on why did they decide to remain. Is it because their communication did not get to them, or maybe they think they are safe here, but then they are refusing to speak to us? I guess they are not camera. But as you can see in these visuals, these are the shacks that are built just on the bank of the river. Many of them were swept away in the floods last time. Some remain, but they're still in danger, but they have decided to remain. As you remember that over 400 lives were lost in the light floods and over 50 people remain missing, and the search and recovery operation that I mentioned to you continue. So those are the people they are still looking for. So the evacuation process was so that the numbers do not increase, but you can see that people have decided to remain behind here at Lamontville.
Bongani, from where you are, is there any teams trying to assist in some of these areas where you have been going to assess what the situation is like, or is it just the community on their own at this particular point?
Griselda, you know, I've been saying people have been evacuated in Umlazi, but we have not seen any teams on the ground. We are hearing that it was just their decision to just move to higher grounds. They just went to the community halls where people who lost their the last floods, over 8,000 houses were completely destroyed. So they have gone to join those people on this was just their will to do so. They were saying, because they said no municipal people or city government people came to remove them from their houses. It's just their decisions. We have not spotted any municipal people or search and rescue units about here evacuating people. So I guess those who have decided to escape, is just their decision alone.
And at this particular stage, do we know if we will have any update? I spoke to our colleague Manoshni Pillay a few moments ago. There had been some speculation perhaps about an update that the provincial government will give. Do we have any clarity on that, Bongani? Perhaps you'd know better than I am sitting here in Johannesburg.
Griselda, I mean, the last communication the department was that from the Premier's office was that the Premier will update us here today at around 12 p.m. The earlier communication said around 10 or 11, so they updated saying that the Premier will speak at 12 p.m. So I guess he has not spoken, but we were expecting that the Premier will be addressing us today to give us an update, you know, because it was warned yesterday that these rains were going to be causing much damage across the province. So we're hoping that the Premier will update how the damage has been and the different steps that they've been taking. So we are still awaiting the Premier's updates, which I guess has not happened because we are now past 12 p.m.
Bongani, there had been some work, extensive work that had been done following the previous devastation that was caused. Some of the electrical lines that had collapsed and other infrastructure, trying to put that together again. The floods, what impact has that had where you are on some of the work that was being done to restore some of, the infrastructure that was damaged there? Has it all gone back to square one now?
Well, you'll remember, Griselda, because we are not far from the old airports. That was just completely blocked off. That's on the N2. That road has been now opened. It's operating as normal. Not far from where we are also is also the exit and entrance into the Umlazi township, a bridge that had completely collapsed. That bridge is still that road. People have been vehicles have been diverted away from that bridge, so a different route was opened there. I'll ask Undabe, my colleague, to just show you the damage here on this road that we are at, because when you're coming in here, we could see that it was blocked off. It was closed off for vehicles not to, utilize this road, but you can see pedestrians continue using it. This road has not been fixed. Yes, residents here were told to use other alternative routes, but pedestrians continue to use this road. In other areas, remember electricity, they were struggling with electricity areas. Different areas, many areas actually have now electricity has been restored. Water, there are communities in Inanda. Last week I was speaking with a resident of Inanda saying that they are still in their area of AS Mangweni, they are still struggling with water, using water, getting water from pipes that had burst. So they are hoping that water, if not restored by now, they are hoping that soon water will be restored. But many of the damaged areas, those that could be fixed in the short term, have been fixed, and now it's also the long-term areas that we are waiting to see the progress at.
Bongani, any indication at this stage? I know that the last time there'd been an update about the number of people that had been left, in community shelters in and around those different areas that had been affected. Have there been any calls at this stage, or some of those organizations that were assisting previously been called out, for some warm clothes? It really doesn't. It adds, injury to the fact that the conditions that we're experiencing in different parts of the country are quite cold.
Griselda, last week I went to a community in Echelimnyama who were kept, those were the flood victims who were kept at a church. They were telling us that an organization that had been helping them with blankets and food had called them to tell them that they will not be coming to them for assistance anymore, because the donations that they were receiving to assist them had dried out. So as you know, that many of the people who are suffering are kept at churches and community halls, and it's the NGOs who are assisting them, also helping government who's also assisting these people. So of course we will see many of these organizations also stepping up again to assist those who will be unfortunately displaced yet again, to assist them. But I can tell you, Griselda, speaking to those residents of Echelimnyama, it was very sad, because they were telling us that that organization that's assisting them was even giving them nappies for their children, food in the morning and blankets at night, and to receive news that they will not be getting all those stuff anymore because the donations have dried out was very, sad for them.
Bongani Gema, live in Lamontville. Thank you very much indeed.